Hey everyone, welcome to episode 5 of The Can. Okay, I got a question for you, Arj.
What's up?
Okay, I'm gonna give you four chicken restaurants. You're gonna tell me which one you're gonna rank them.
Okay,
All
fuck.
right,
Let's go.
Popeyes,
Popeyes,
Raising Cane's,
Raising Cane's,
Chick-fil-A,
Chick
KFC. Rank them.
Chick-fil-A is number one. Raising Cane's is number two. KFC is number three, and Popeyes number four.
That's so cap.
Where was it, Cap?
Okay, so Popeyes chicken tenders, easily goated. I'm putting that number one.
Okay, but just the hospitality and the overall quality of Chick-fil-A kind of like souls that in 1 second.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
You agree with hospitality?
Have you gotten a chicken tender from Chick-fil-A? That's
Yeah,
not
but
good. But this is what I'll say. This is what I'll say. Sandwiches. The
Sandwiches.
chicken sandwich at Chick-fil-A is pretty fire. So I'll give you that. We're comparing sandwiches, Chick-fil-A at the top.
Yeah.
General chicken, like fried chicken. I'm putting Popeyes number one, Raising Cane's number two, Chick-fil-A three, KFC four.
So we're just all hitting on KFC right now.
I think. Where'd you put KFC?
Number four. So I'm agreeing with you. I don't like KFC either.
That's fair. All right. Hey, let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, there we go.
All right. Next question I got for you.
Okay.
So we've seen recently Andrew Wiggins, greatest of all time Canadian basketball player, small forward, went first overall in 2014, won Rookie of the Year in 2014. Sorry, I got to get that right out of the system. Top three current day basketball players from Canada. Give me them.
Current.
Fuck,
dude. Okay, so obviously Andrew Wiggins is number one. Jamal. No, actually, no. I take that back. Jamal Murray number one. Andrew Wiggins number two, and then I would say Corey Joseph number three.
Fucking Corey Joseph.
Yeah, Corey Joseph number three.
Hell no. Give me Tristan Thompson. Let's go.
You want Cheating Thompson?
Yo, City Boys up. Let's go.
R.I.P. Kardashian family.
Oh man, we all know what's Tristan Thompson's favorite sport?
Cheating on his partner.
That's right.
Please. Oh, R.I.P. D Book and Kendall Jenner too. One of my favorite couples.
Okay, next question I got for you. Top three destinations for Kendall Jenner.
Oh shit. Okay, I got number one, Jordan Poole. Number two, Jalen Green. And number three, back to Kyle Kuzma.
Yo, okay, so what's a bigger deal? I need to ask you.
Yeah.
Kendall Jenner going back to Kyle Kuzma or LeBron going back to the Cavs in 2015?
Oh shit. I mean, like, it took him like 2 years to win a championship. But going back to Kuzma, he can't suck anymore, so I guess that's the bigger deal.
That's fair. What do you think Kyle Kuzma's averaging next year?
30 high fives, 4 Waterboy chance, and 13 minutes.
That's fair. That's all right. So,
do you want me to ask you some questions? I mean, you've been carrying the load right now.
Yeah, you gotta ask me something.
Okay. Let me ask you some questions. Probability of Kyrie Irving going to either LA team next season. You can talk about the Clippers or the Lakers or both. It's your call.
To be honest with you, I don't know if he is going to go to LA.
Okay.
Now, if you're asking me which LA team do I think he's going to go to?
Yeah.
I feel like the Lakers had the better chance of signing him, or I guess trading for him.
Yeah.
Now the package that would involve,
because they're not trading Davis for sure.
Well, no, they're not going to trade Davis. It's probably going to be more of like it's not going to be like, oh, what can I get for, like, can I get a good player for Kyrie Irving? It's going to be more of like, can I get something for Kyrie Irving?
Yeah.
And I think that something would obviously be Russell Westbrook. Maybe like,
okay, but does KD want to play with Russell Westbrook? That's the thing.
Well, I think it's just a salary situation.
Yeah.
Like, quite honestly, first of all, I don't think KD even cares. Do you think he cares?
Okay. I want to answer a question, but I have a bigger thing to ask. Please tell me you saw Dame's story on his IG.
That's facts. So That's the other thing, right? There's things that Dame wants. There's things I want.
There's things I want to, and I'm not getting them right now.
And I love Damian Lillard. He is the second best point guard of all time. No, not all time, 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 not all time.
Okay.
Y'all didn't hear that.
Okay.
I meant second best point guard currently.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
right. I was watching highlights yesterday. Dame at his best is better than Luka Doncic.
Actually, wait. Now that you brought Luka into the mix, I don't know if I'd say top two. Maybe top three. Yeah, top three for me.
Why you put Luka ahead of Dame?
Yeah, I mean Steph is like undoubtedly number one. Okay. Dame in his prime and Luka, I would say they're like very close. You can go either way.
Okay, but Dame is honestly, he was injured last year, so he's kind of still in his prime.
I mean, we
don't know how he's gonna come back. If he comes like ass, I'll agree with you.
I don't think he's gonna come back ass. I think
he's
coming back to an ass team.
If the average is less than 25 points per game next year, I'll agree with you.
Oh, dude, 20. So I gotta say something. So Yusuf Nurkic, right?
Yes, sir.
He kind of reposted Dame's like story on his IG, and there was only one thing going in my mind when he did that. I was like, bro, you're probably gonna be in that package for KD.
Dog thinks he isn't going.
Yeah, like come on, dude, come on.
Like, dude, they need something. You're going.
You're like
you,
biggest
Anthony
asset.
Simons,
yeah.
like
Probably
Josh Hart.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they sub Josh Hart.
Probably Josh Hart. Probably like some of the picks they got.
Yeah.
You're gone.
You're like their biggest asset after Dame Lillard right
now. Yeah, honestly.
Also Anthony Simmons too. Yeah.
Yeah, Anthony Simons also just had a crazy year last year. What do you think about that?
I think it was just a player who stepped up when their best player was on the court. And like the only thing I think he's really doing is kind of just increasing his like market value. I just don't see him like long. If they want to compete for a championship and they want to keep Dame, I don't see that he has long-term value with the Trailblazers. Mm-hmm. But if they're going for a rebuild, which means getting rid of Dame and some other of the veteran players, then like he will be their main guy and who they will build around.
That's facts, but I think if they have to trade for KD, he's probably going.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think it's just insane that Dame made a swap, presumably by himself.
Yeah,
and then posted it to his story.
Chances
doubled down.
Probability he was drunk when he posted that.
Okay. Let's actually. What do you think the odds are
of KD going to Portland?
No, of Dame being drunk when he posted that.
Oh, so it's a very high probability.
Yeah. Honestly, because he doubled down, and then his teammates tripled down, and then he deleted it. But at that point, the damage is done.
It's kind of like when you get drunk in the middle of the club and you start thinking about your ex. It's sort of like that, and then you send that like 2 a.m. text. It's a very similar situation. We have all done it. No shame in it. Dame just happened to do it like last night. So
yeah, it's funny because KD isn't even his ex.
He wants it to be his ex though.
All right, so today we're gonna have a special guest. You want to talk a little bit about him, Marsh?
His name is Supreet. So Supreet is one of my friends. He's a huge Spurs fan. I will leave majority of his introduction to him because I think that's more appropriate. Him kind of telling his own story. But he is a Spurs fan. He is currently in Texas, and we really look forward to hearing what he has to say, his thoughts, his opinions, and his perspectives of what's going on in the basketball world.
That is fair. Let's get it.
Hey, Supreet, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, bro. How about you guys?
I'm doing great. Before we get into like the basketball stuff, if you could just tell us your name, a little about yourself, like what you're doing job-wise, what your favorite team is, and when you started watching basketball.
Yeah, so my name's Supreet already. I just finished my degree at BU in economics, so that was chill. Right now, I'm currently looking for a job, but I've been talking to a lot of companies in like finance or tech, so that's been neat for me. But yeah, I mean, I've been watching sports in general for as long as I can imagine, remember. My team had always been, especially basketball, my team is always the Spurs, but being in Dallas, I also like the Mavericks. I mean, just because Dirk Nowitzki's that motherfucker. There's nothing, you couldn't tell me he's not. He's just he's that guy. But yeah.
Yeah, wait, let me ask you something.
In
Dallas, how are you a Spurs fan? What's like the background behind that?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. My dad actually worked in San Antonio for a while.
Okay.
And so we'd commute, he would go there, work for like 3-4 days, and then come back. every week. But then sometimes over the weekend we'd come and visit him, and in San Antonio, and his work just gave him Spurs tickets
Gotcha.
every now and then. So like once a month, I would go and watch a Spurs game, and this is from 2000 through 2010. So the Spurs are like, this is the Spurs, right? Like they're fucking 3 titles in 5 years type thing. So yeah, naturally you're just gonna like the
It's
team.
honestly really wholesome, dude. I love hearing that stuff.
It's true.
Yeah.
When do you think you really became like interested in basketball?
I think probably around 2011. Like 2011 to 2014 for me was like just the best 4 years of sports, like for basketball at least, because the Mavs are that good. They won the title, which was like awesome.
I know why you like 2014. I know why you like 2014. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean 2014 the Spurs were just like fucking revived out of the like back from the dead type shit. And they just like for 2 years, I mean the finals was Heat Spurs, and like that was a very good finals like combination. So
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it goes without saying, but who do you think would be your all-time greatest Spur?
Ginobili.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God. Really?
That's mine. That's mine, absolutely.
No,
I mean,
so
listen,
why?
Tim Duncan,
Ginobili?
listen. So undeniably, if you want to ask like who the best Spurs player of all time, it's Tim Duncan. There's no question about that. We're not even going to entertain something else, right? Absolutely the truth. Ginobili isn't even like the top 3 best Spurs of all time. Not even, like he's realistically, you can choose whether you want him or Tony Parker at 5th. And that's fair. But to me, Ginobili was just like the funnest motherfucker to watch ever. You know, like that's just what it is. Like my favorite. So I'm more of a football fan than a basketball fan. And like football, my favorite player I've ever watched was Troy Polamalu, because he was just doing shit that you're just like, no one is doing this. But Ginobili was doing the same thing, where he just was this weird motherfucker just getting to the hoop no matter what.
You know, it's funny that you say
yeah.
that. It's like kind of similar with me. You know, my favorite player on the Celtics. I'm a Celtics fan. My favorite player on the Celtics is it's Jaylen Brown, right?
Makes sense.
Like, don't get me wrong. I know the best player on the Celtics is Jason, and you disagree.
Yeah,
he disagrees, but
what?
He does.
I don't know what there's to disagree about that. Like
after this finals, how JB carried the Celtics, and how Jason Tatum kind of stumbled throughout the whole final series, kind of just showed me 2 things. One thing, maturity. He could step up in big situations like JT couldn't do. Yes, JT has a lot in his arsenal.
Okay, but like, did you forget the other like 20 times this playoffs where
we can talk about LeBron.
What do you like? Listen,
we can talk about it matters. Finals matter the most.
Playoffs matter a lot too.
But finals are the breaking point. They're the breaking point. That's what gets you the championship. Nothing else.
I want what this kid's on. I want what this kid's on.
I think
I don't know what you're on. You're just like,
I think you're desperate.
This motherfucker just ignored 3 whole playoff series. That's 21 games, bro.
He played good in them too, boss. What are you talking about?
He played amazing in those games.
That's what I'm saying.
Jaylen Brown didn't have 46 in Game 6 to extend the series. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
he didn't have 46.
And Jaylen Brown did not duel.
Now I'm not saying. Now look. Now let's get back.
Okay.
Let's get back to the point.
Also though, Jaylen Brown didn't fucking lock up Kevin Durant.
Bro, no one.
Jason Tatum.
Grant Williams. Grant
Williams did. That was so fucking funny. But Jason Tatum was playing great defense on the entire series. Like,
and you know what's funny? I was actually telling people beforehand that Jason Tatum was gonna be that way. The reason being, he's a decent defender. He's also, I'm gonna say he's 6'10".
He's a good defender. He's
I would say
he's above average plus defender.
He is. He's above average. He's actually like pretty strong too. And then secondly, he's either 6'9" or 6'10". That's debatable.
He's like 6'10"-ish.
Yeah. With curls, he's 6'10". With curls, he's 6'10".
Without a head haircut.
That's funny.
But he has the build to guard Kevin Durant. He's a guy that can move basically as fast as Kevin Durant can. Yeah. He's about the same height. He's probably stronger than Kevin Durant is.
Absolutely.
I don't think that takes much though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it takes much in terms of just like Kevin Durant's floor is just
good. He's like the Reaper. He's like a slim Reaper, dude. He's like 7 feet tall.
Dude, slim. Yeah.
Weighs like 100 pounds. You can't really match that.
The next question I have, right? Next question I have, and it's probably interesting because you're on the good side of history here. You're on the right? Kawhi going to the Raptors. How did that make you feel?
I mean, he was on the good side.
Oh, it fucking hurt, bro. Listen. If Kawhi Leonard was still in the Spurs right now, I would tell you that Kawhi Leonard is my favorite Spur of all time. No question. Listen, Kawhi Leonard was like the kind of guy, like I watched him dunking in his prime, right? I watched, the height of the Spurs, literally, right? I've seen all of that, but there was never a point like with Kawhi Leonard, it was like I literally assumed we'd win every game purely off the fact that he would do something on the defensive end that just would like because like one thing that doesn't get talked about him enough, I think now is that like he's not as good of a defender as he was on the Spurs. And on the Spurs, he was like literally one of the best defenders of all time. Like we were talking about this like
yeah.
like back to back. I mean, we're talking like Rudy Gobert plus Rudy, but also he's just a better offensive player than Rudy Gobert is too.
Yeah.
And he's just not a center. Like he was amazing, just a fucking god. So it hurt and it really sucked. But the entire situation was just the weirdest thing I'd ever seen.
Mhm.
Like I imagine the Spurs did fuck up undeniably, but I also think Kawhi Leonard clearly did something weird on his own that would just like I don't understand. Like I don't understand how the relationship started to begin with because Kawhi Leonard was like fucking like I don't know. You couldn't tell me that like other than the Toronto year, like Kawhi Leonard clearly had all his best years on the Spurs,
I mean,
right?
For a year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
I agree. I mean, like I feel like
I just feel like he
injuries-
had their history.
I feel like injuries are definitely a big part of it. But I feel
yeah. But like, see, the thing is, he wasn't injury prone on our team. Though.
no, he wasn't. But like a lot of that has to do with like the San Antonio medical staff. Of how they like kind of after Zaza what Zaza did was a dirty ass play, and I agree with
Yeah,
that.
fuck Zaza. Zaza's the shittiest thing. Fuck Zaza Pachulia, bro.
But how they handled Kawhi Leonard's situation, and I'm not going against the organization, coaching staff, team. I think that's all great, but their medical staff is a lot to blame for how that shit went down.
Yeah, I 100% think that like someone in the Spurs dropped the ball like really badly, and certainly to me though, I think my take is that this right, the Spurs are fundamentally just one of, if not the best, like well-run organizations in sports. Period. Right. You could say, like I would say, from like a front like exclusively a front office perspective, like they're the best in the league and might be the best in America. Because listen, like player development, there's literally not a team that can hold a candle to the Spurs in player development. Not a single, like I mean, the amount of people that the Spurs have turned into great players.
And like I get what you're saying. I'll say that recently, right? The Spurs haven't really had a ton to work with, right? They have DeJounte Murray right now.
They've had the thing is that they haven't had a ton to work with for like 25 years. So for them to persist as long,
I wouldn't say 25 years. I'd say more.
No, yeah,
past 5.
No, but like, well, so not even.
I mean, DeMar DeRozan was.
Well, so here's the thing, though, right? Our first pick within the top 10 picks was this draft. The last time we had that was fucking Tim Duncan.
Yeah, but that's
so like for like 25 years. There's
arguably one of the best. He's probably arguably the best power forward.
I can best power forward.
He just is. Yeah. He just is. There isn't who are you gonna put up better than him?
Yeah, no I mean that's like right away. You're not really suffering from that. Yeah.
And you also had like David Robinson before that.
That's true. I mean, just kind of the way they kind of the Spurs sort of pick players. I say one of the biggest, one of the best things for the Spurs to happen recently, right? Recently, as in like after 2010, was sort of Kawhi's emergence because that's really what allowed them to go on those 2 finals runs, right?
Oh yeah. Well, no. The 2 finals runs I think was
part of the big 3.
It wasn't Kawhi. I think it was the big 3 was still it had some weight to it still.
It had some weight,
and it was supplemented by great players like Boris Diaw, Danny Green, Patty Mills.
Yeah. That was
phenomenal.
I think what really had Kawhi's fingerprints all over it was going to the Western Conference Finals in 2017 against the Warriors right before his injury. That was all Kawhi.
What do you think? Okay, what do you think would have happened? Do you think that the Spurs could have won that series if Kawhi?
I like to think that
they would have won.
This is a big if, right? But if the Warriors don't get like really fucking hot, I think that Kawhi totally could have gone to the finals. I think there's an entire possibility where it could have happened. Absolutely.
I think beating the trio of KD, Clay, and Steph for like 4 games in a 7-game series. Like I trust me.
We took one game. We still took one game.
I wanted Spurs to win so badly, and I was devastated when Kawhi lost. But I'm talking the realistic perspective. Beating that trio with their supporting cast for 4 games,
100%.
It's fucking
100%.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like that's why I said it was a big if, right? But like if they don't get super fucking hot, because if that team went hot, there's never going to be a team. There's not a team to beat them ever if they get that hot, right?
Absolutely.
And you certainly can't miss shots against that team, which is like a very shitty scenario to be in. Where like if you can't let them make every shot, but they're also like you can't miss on your own too. So like you just have to be more like attentive with that. But I think that like that Spurs team was one of the very best of the Spurs. Like that was a 60-something win team too. That's 67 wins, I think.
I think they only lost one game on the road. Like that's
yeah.
Crazy.
It was really stupid. Like we had a better on the road record than the fucking Warriors with the best record.
And the only game they lost was to the Warriors too.
Exactly. Like see, it's like I think that if there was a team to beat them, it was in the West, and it was the Spurs. 100%. Because I think that Kawhi would lock up one of KD, like KD. LaMarcus Aldridge was still playing pretty great at the time too. Getting like 24, 25 points a game too from him, which was awesome. And then he'd give us double basically every night. And then you had great shooters around them who were all really good at defense. And yeah, like that's like to me, like that's the most Spurs thing though, is like if the Spurs are good, then like one of the best things about them is like it's not just great players, they're also being surrounded by really good role players.
The chemistry.
It isn't like the Bucks or something. When like no shame to the Bucks, but like
yeah, the Greg Popovich is basically like the Bill Belichick of basketball, right? And
here's my take. Maybe you'll hate me on this. I think he's better than Bill Belichick. I think so. Only because
there's some bias in that.
No, but what I'll say about basketball is I feel like what I'll say about basketball is I feel like in football you have the coach has a much bigger role in a team winning because there's like you to think about like
he's got to like run a company or something.
I heard this somewhere, so I'm not taking credit for this take, right? Mm-hmm. In terms of basketball, you always think of player duos.
Yeah.
A lot of times in football, you think of like the coach quarterback duos, right?
Oh yeah. Well, not even that. Like you got to think of like for example, like exclusive on the defense. Like in football defense, you got to think of like people as like departments in a company, right? Like you got in the way you got an accounting department, you got a marketing department and shit. You got your D line, you got your front seven, you got your cornerbacks, you got your safeties and such too. So like I just think that from the standpoint of like as a coach and like how comparatively across the league, like Bill Belichick's coaching tree really hasn't done much, but fucking Greg Popovich would be two of Greg Popovich's coaches, like people that learned under him were in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like I don't know. I think of it like that just because Greg Popovich's coaching tree is the most insane shit in the world.
Yeah,
like every coach in the league is in some way connected to him, which is crazy, you know.
Yeah, his influence definitely runs the game. I
think it's also insane. Like I felt like I don't like Skip Bayless a ton, but he's a huge Spurs fan. And he was basically saying because Ime was an assistant coach to Greg Popovich, right? And he was basically saying this was a fantastic trade because he was their like lead assistant. And I was like, that's when I knew. First of all, I'm not gonna say that I'm blameless. Like I was hating on Ime pretty early on in the season.
Okay. Your season was bad. It started out so bad.
Before the All-Star.
You know what? But then my fucking boys gave you a care package halfway through. You know,
Kevin, right? And Kevin and I were talking, but we always text each other, during games.
He means Kevin Wu, just saying that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. Sounds like Kevin. I'm sure I know the Kevin.
Sorry about that. But we always text each other, during games, and basically we just stopped watching games because they were just doing so bad. Like I went to maybe 3 Celtics games, and they lost by like double digits in all those games.
Yeah,
and
he's just the bad luck charm.
I watched. Listen, I went to listen. Spurs. Your team was so bad at the beginning of the season. I went to watch the Spurs Celtics with my old frat president, and he's 3 years older than us. But we went to it, and I was like, holy shit, the Spurs are gonna win this game. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
to be honest with you, the Spurs have kind of had the Celtics numbers in the past few years. Like every time we play the Spurs, no matter how bad the Spurs are, like I know it's gonna be a close game, no matter what.
We're the only team that LeBron James doesn't have a winning record against.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like each no matter how we've never beat the Spurs twice, and we should be beating them all the time, just in the past few years.
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah. I think that it's weird. Like this, like I remember one time Ginobili in like 2018 fucking scored 27 points against you just randomly, just went off. And I just remember like he hit a buzzer beater or something stupid. And I was like, huh, I guess like it's not supposed to happen.
Wait, you know
one of my favorite plays ever was when they were playing the Houston Rockets with James Harden on it.
The
and
block.
Winning by 1 or 2, and James Harden went for the 3, and Ginobili just came from the back and just blocked him. That was fucking.
My old laptop. You'll love this.
Thinking about
My old laptop has it right there.
Is that Ginobili?
Is that that is so funny.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's an amazing sticker.
Wait, was it Ginobili that did there's like this, I think it might have been Ginobili or Tony Park. It might have been Ginobili where he tried to pass for a lob and it's just a 3.
I was Ginobili.
Yeah, he just scored a 3.
My favorite
Yeah.
Ginobili play.
Yeah. It was like I forgot who the center was, but like he just goes up to get it and it's just in the net already. And you're just like, huh.
Oh wait, was it Thiago Splitter?
It might have been Thiago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love Thiago.
Yeah, like I don't know. But to me, Ginobili just like he was just so good for no reason.
Yeah.
Like a 57th overall pick should not be that good.
No.
Should never even be a 6 man. You know, before that, like we never seen anything like that until Isaiah Thomas, like in 2016 or something.
I mean, Nikola Jokic wasn't that far. He was still 30 something.
Yeah. Right.
He's a much bigger.
I think it means less now, but like back then it was wild.
I think Nikola Jokic might be the greatest like surprise.
Yeah, already, absolutely. He's already the best second round pick of all time. I mean, if you're a back-to-back MVP winner,
that as a second round pick though. Shout out Denver.
That's crazy. Yeah.
All right, next question I really have for you is where do you think the Spurs go from here? What moves do you think they can make? And what do you think?
Yeah, so Spurs are weird right now because like they're not objectively like you wouldn't look at them and be like, oh, that's an amazing team, right? That's going to be an amazing team.
Before you continue, I just want to say something. There has been a very prominent rumor from a source that the Spurs might be getting a trade package for John Collins, and that trade package includes DeJounte Murray.
I heard about that. My take on that is it's not.
No.
I think
you got
like
DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, we got to keep.
I'm not saying this. I'm just saying that's what the.
Oh yeah. No, I think I heard the rumor too. I know what you're talking about. I think for me, I looked at that and I was just like, that has to be like them understanding what DeJounte's value is now versus actually trying to shop him. You know what I mean? Like the only way
we did that, so it must carry some weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely probably are right now in like serious talks for it. But I think because like to be fair, like Atlanta does have a lot of good players. So like a package surrounding John Collins plus 2 other players would be really good for the Spurs inherently. Like you would get good value for it, but at the same time, like would I be okay with them getting rid of DeJounte Murray? No, because if we're going to get to a point where like we're trying to give up assets to get better now and like start to win, DeJounte Murray probably should be part of that picture because otherwise our team's average age is like 24. It's a young ass team and it just got younger too because we got 3 19-year-olds on the team now.
Yeah. I mean, thinking from like perspective though, like having a backcourt duo of Trae Young and DeJounte Murray must be crazy.
Well,
that must be wild.
Really good. It basically like fill in the gaps defensively that Trae.
Absolutely. So, yeah, and I mean both of them can get you 20 and 20 points and like 8 assists in a night.
Murray's definitely the better like defensive guard, but that would be great like weightage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean DeJounte Murray is fantastic defensive.
I swear to God, I don't know what happened. I mean, I assume this just did happen, but like I feel like when DeMar DeRozan was there, he must have taught DeJounte how to do his mid-range jumper or something because like he just got the same mid-range jumper that DeMar has. And that's what that's his scoring now, which is great because like DeMar's mid-range is so good that like you can just
first game
happy with it.
The first game that the Spurs and Celtics played this year, I remember DeJounte Murray just cooked us in the last like 2 minutes of that game.
Yeah.
We were like up 8 and I was like, all right. Whenever we're up 8 with like less than 4 minutes to go, I turn on the game, right?
Yeah.
And basically like, they were up and then DeJounte Murray just like hits some of the craziest shots, right? And I was like, oh my God, he's cold.
Yeah. So Supreet, okay. Yeah. I want the next question I want to ask you kind of goes back to a little of like the NBA kind of like conspiracy theories. So one of the big like conspiracy theories like in the NBA was kind of like Heat and like Dallas Mavericks like kind of like matchup in the finals. It's like Miami 2006 and then like Dallas got the revenge
that it was like rigged and shit.
So a lot of people said it was rigged because just to keep like things interesting and,
like free throws and all that.
Exactly. So what do you agree with that? Do you disagree with that, or do you think there's some things that indicate that?
I think to some extent, yes. But I also think realistically, there's only so much of the NBA could do other than like stop like from that isn't just like blatant, to like actually influence the game anyways. Like, for example, you could give fucking Miami all the free throws they want, but if they miss all of them, then you didn't really influence
Hope they
shit.
don't though, because they're NBA players.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but like for example, like if you want to like stack the deck for Miami to win, but then what if Dirk Nowitzki goes off for like fucking 50 points one day and naturally wins the game, right? Something like that. Like there's always so much shit that could happen anyways. Like that, like even if they.
One thing I thought was crazy was because like I feel like in 2011, like when that like it was like their trio's first time in the finals, and they went.
Yeah,
like,
that felt so good.
Yeah, he got really complacent after they were like up 2-1 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Dirk was also injured, so they were kind of mocking him, and then he just like went.
Yeah, then he kind of comes out with he has a flu game.
Yeah,
and he still dropped like fucking 37 that game too. He was great.
You mean the food poisoning game?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know what it was. It was the coffee.
MJ, yeah.
Oh yeah, fucking stupid. But yeah, no, I mean that was crazy. But like honestly, the coolest thing about that run from Dirk was like he swept the shit out of Kobe.
Oh yeah, and then he also beat.
And this is a Kobe that just won back-to-back titles.
Yeah.
This is like they kept the team relatively together, and it's the same team that for the last 2 years was in the finals.
Yeah.
And he just they sweep him.
Yeah,
they sweep. I was like, holy
fuck. The Thunder 4-1, dude. Like in the round before.
Yeah, I see. Listen. But it was just like sweeping Kobe, like that was just wild. I'd never like that was beyond my wildest dreams. I'd never fucking imagined that.
We called that the German sweep around here.
Oh my god, it was fucking wild. It was just like holy shit.
Yeah, and I think what's crazy about that too is like the 2006 team had Steve Nash on it, right? Mm-hmm. And this run that the 2011 Dirk run.
Wait, they also had Karl Malone, right? Was that year? That was
that's
Karl Malone was on the.
Karl Malone was on the Lakers.
Yeah.
In 2004. Then he retired.
Oh right.
Karl Malone retired in 04.
That was in the early years.
Yeah, but certainly like that 2011 run was that was entirely him.
Right? Yeah, see, it was him, but also just like really weird shit happened. Like for example, you wouldn't think of this, and this is the weirdest sentence to think and say. But Jason Terry, for some reason, was able to guard Kobe.
Jason Terry, crazy.
Like I don't understand how that happens. Like you can, but you watch the game.
Jason Kidd had an integral part in that. Like,
yeah,
I mean, they all did. Look, the role players.
Like there was, the thing is, like it was absolutely Dirk was carrying a massive load, but then like also at the same time, people just like stepped up to like carry parts of it too. Like Peja Stojakovic randomly just.
What do you think about Sean Marion's jumper?
Yeah.
You know what? It's served him pretty well. The hell if I can say. I mean, he's in the NBA.
Like my golf swing, no cap.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it should work at all. But like also at the same time, Sean Marion was a fucking beast for like 7 years. So
yeah, I think it's crazy. He shot 33%. Like you shot 33.
Yeah,
it's that Lonzo ball jumper, bro.
Oh my god,
it's got some. Oh my god, the one where that was so funny because like Lonzo Ball looked like he was like juking someone, but like there was no one to juke.
It's so
like he looked like he was trying to do an open under, but like he's not next to the rim. Like what's he doing with that?
It didn't work in the NBA, dude. He like changed it up, but it worked in college and high school.
Dude, he was such a good 3-point shooter though. Like he figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he
absolutely
got a specialist and stuff like that to kind of like figure that out in Chicago.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know what it was. Like, I guess being in New Orleans for him was like great because like it just was really helpful.
Okay, Supreet, any player? Okay, realistically, any player you want on the San Antonio Spurs roster, who is that player? And don't fucking say LeBron. Like, say someone like realistic that you might actually get. Like, would you say Zach LaVine?
Yeah.
You want?
Yeah, I would say Zach LaVine. Okay. Or actually, no, for me, it'd be DeAndre Ayton.
Okay, that's what I was gonna. Ask you, right?
Because like, here's the thing, right? Like DeAndre Ayton, I'm really so convinced that like if you build a team around him, he'd be fucking amazing. Because his draft comparison. And I remember like reading about it, and it's like, how the fuck are you gonna give this guy his draft comparison with David Robinson?
You think he deserves the max?
So this is what I'll say.
I don't. I think he's capable of playing for the max. I don't think he's earned it in terms of his play yet, but I think
Greg Popovich wants to give it to him.
Okay, so I don't know. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with DeAndre Ayton, which like it's kind of interesting because if you look at his numbers, he's been producing like a pretty good center.
Absolutely.
Oh, actually, can I change a pick? Yeah. Oh, this will be a better one. All right, Ben Simmons.
That's fair.
I wanted Ben. So I was so fucking sure that we would trade DeMar DeRozan to the Sixers, right? In the last offseason, and maybe we give up to DeJounte Murray, whatever. All right. I would have been okay with it for so fact that if we got Ben Simmons, bro, I swear to God, I
Dude,
think that a
stop thinking
team,
his name. Yeah.
No,
sorry, sorry.
okay.
dude, that would have been so sick.
Okay, to be
That would've been
honest,
so sick.
but okay, as much as we talk crap about how bad Ben Simmons is, I do feel like
He's so good. Like, listen,
in the right system, he can
Yeah.
be a good player. I just don't think he wanted to be in Philadelphia. And honestly,
yeah,
maybe
he's-
being in a smaller market's not a bad
Yeah.
thing.
listen, he's been an all-star every single year he's played majority of games. He's been an all-star, which is crazy. That includes his rookie season. He's
Perennial.
he's been a top 3 defensive player in the league, like DPOY, for at least one season. I assume that's going to stay too, right? He's always been a very good offensive weapon, and now he's suddenly also really, really good on defense.
Okay, so Supreet, can I just play
So-
devil's advocate right here?
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean, and just to kind of go on your side right now, I think one of the major issues about the whole like Ben Simmons versus like the Sixers like situation had to do a lot with like their management and how they were not able to kind of like keep him happy. I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Honestly,
But at the
My-
same time, I just want to say one thing. I don't think Popovich's like coaching style will fit with like Ben Simmons' personality, because besides skill set, besides chemistry, I think one of the biggest part in a player is his personality and how coachable he is. And I just don't
Sure.
think Simmons is a
yeah,
coachable
but
player.
I feel like with Greg Popovich it's going to be different. I feel like Doc Rivers. Okay, here's my
I
criticism
don't-
of Doc
Doc
Rivers.
Rivers is so dog shit. Listen,
no.
Doc Rivers, fuck Doc Rivers.
No, but the thing with Doc Rivers
Fuck
is
that
the way
dude.
he coaches is like he tries to like instigate people. You know what I mean? Like he tries,
Gaslight them.
yeah, he basically
Gaslights.
say
He
you're
does
trash.
dumb
If
shit.
you can't play, you're fucking trash, man.
Yeah,
But so-
no, but that's actually what he does. Like Greg Popovich, like builds like actual relationships with people. Like remember,
like
he
I-
drafted Tim Duncan, right? What did he do? He actually like went to the
Wait, you're talking about Greg, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers.
Greg Popovich went to the Virgin Islands and
Doc
swam
Rivers
with
is
him.
Bro, you could have
Exactly.
left so easily. Yeah.
Just to confirm, Tim Duncan.
Listen, Doc Rivers also botched trying to get Tim Duncan too, which is the funniest shit in the
Yeah.
world.
So Greg Popovich went to Tim Duncan's home, like introduced himself to Tim Duncan's family, like built that actual relationship, right? And that was like a huge part of why the Spurs was such a successful organization, was because like Greg Popovich had a great relationship with all his players on the team. Right?
Yeah, like to me, I think that's like the case, is that like I assume that like he's gonna find a way to get to him and coach him. And like thing is, we have the best shooting coach in the league. The Warriors tried to take our shooting coach, Chip England, and they were willing to pay him like 60 million or something stupid. Like,
How many years? How many years?
I don't some obscene. It was like a long contract or something to
Okay,
like work
okay.
for them. But like it was like, listen, they valued him that much, right? Like he's the guy who made Kawhi Leonard into an offensive player. He's the guy who took Danny Green, who was a fucking shitty 3-point shooter before he joined the Spurs, and made him really
Yeah, he
good.
was
Because
just garbage on the Cavs.
Danny Green
was
only
garbage
got on
on
the
the
Spurs
Cavs.
because he could play defense.
Yeah, I think
That's
what's
like-
interesting
yeah.
too is like honestly, I'm in the opposite belief. I think you need to put like Ben Simmons in sort of a system where he doesn't need to shoot.
Oh yeah, like I don't want him to shoot. I don't want him to shoot, but like I think he needs to be
Yeah,
able to shoot him. At least.
The Sixers put him in a situation where he was their point guard, and nowadays you can't really have a point guard that doesn't shoot well.
Yeah.
Right?
Like you have to build a
them
team
enough,
around that.
right? You know what I mean?
Like what I would want to do with him is like give him that kind of like Nikola Jokic shit, where like he's
Yeah.
this is
But dude,
this is your
Nikola
offensive player.
Jokic can shoot.
Right, but
Towns
the
can
thing
shoot.
is,
Joel
but
Embiid can shoot. Ben Simmons should be able to shoot too.
but the thing is,
Right,
right, like
his own
like
problem, dude.
Russell Westbrook.
no, fundamentally,
Okay,
yeah.
Russell Westbrook's a different story.
He tries.
But-
though, he tries.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, like, it's actually more damning, I think, if Russell Westbrook can't shoot because he's a point guard, whereas Ben Simmons is really a center. He is a center.
More of a small
He's
forward.
like
Yeah, power forward.
power forward center. He's a 4
My
or 5.
one
Like
thing-
you could put him at 5 and it wouldn't be outlandish.
My
Right?
one
Like,
thing
it's-
is I want Ben Simmons like to just be aggressive. That's all. If you can get
yeah,
Ben,
like I mean, he has to be based off of the
Everything
way he
else
plays the
falls
game. He
into
just has to.
yeah, everything else falls into place because you can really build a very
Yeah,
efficient, like sort of
yeah.
pace and space offense, right? Where you
Mhm.
have shooters sort of around him, right? Maybe you
Yeah.
set like a Seth Curry, I don't know, someone like that.
Dude, you can also
Mhm.
like contract like incentives. So for every 3 he makes, he gets like 500K or something.
He'd still not make anything though. He'd still not make anything.
That'd be the funniest shit in the world. If that's in his
Yeah,
contract somewhere.
only
That's
shoot
so fucking.
Only
I'd laugh my
shoot-
ass off, bro.
Ben
I'd laugh my
Simmons
ass off. That's in his
right away.
contract.
He's like over
but, like-
40 from 3.
Yeah, yeah. I think like see, my thing is like what I predict would happen if Ben Simmons on the Spurs, right? Is like you could have remember like the 2014. I don't know how much you know about those like 2014 Spurs team.
Yeah, yeah.
But, like that team was like fucking
I watched
passing like
I watched
everyone.
that series religiously, dude, religiously.
It's
Dude, I
like
was
watching.
thinking-
It's
dude, I
like
was-
watching a
yeah.
symphony.
Dude,
I don't know what to say.
Here was like Heat in 6. I was like, bro, Spurs are winning at 5. You have my word, and that's exactly what.
Yeah,
There's no
I mean,
way.
and they
I said
didn't
Spurs
just win.
five.
They didn't
I said
they didn't
Spurs
just win,
five.
bro. They fucking
Destroyed
they
them.
beat the shit. They beat the
They
shit
took
out. of them.
LeBron's soul and gave it to the devil. That's how bad it was.
And what's
Dude,
crazy about it too?
They beat him so bad he left.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what's
what's crazy about the whole thing too is this was literally like, you think about how disgraceful that is for the Heat too.
They just back-to-back championships, losing.
Yeah,
game 5.
like
It's
that's
crazy.
insane. There's no way
Get slaughtered.
you have a prime LeBron and a prime Dwayne Wade on a team.
And I don't know
like
if you remember this, Supreet, but there was this scene like in the playoffs. I think it was like game 2 or 3 where LeBron was shooting a free throw and they checked Kawhi Leonard in, and LeBron just looks at the cameras like, "Fuck."
Yep. Yeah, because like Kawhi Leonard just fucking
He was
Kawhi Leonard
locking
locked
shit
his
out.
ass up. It was so good. But the best thing to me is like that team was just anyone could fucking fire. Boris Diaw was sometimes our second best player.
Yeah, Boris
Boris
Diaw,
Diaw's a
Patty
fucking
Mills,
stud.
Danny
Patty
Green,
Mills
holy
would just go
fuck.
off sometime. Tony Parker one time will just like casually just become the best interior player on the court as a fucking 6'2" dude, which is hilarious to me. Like to me, like, I don't know, like it's just like that team was like it would just do anything, right? Like, and it was like always it was always spacing before spacing was really a thing. It was like doing a bunch of it. It was just like to me, I imagine if you could have that.
You're a Matt Bonner.
The fucking
was
the
fucking-
red mamba, bro.
Oh,
red mamba.
The ginger rifle right there. He was Andy Dalton before Andy Dalton.
Yeah, the red rifle, bro. No, yeah. I mean, it was just like such a great collection of studs too. Even 2013 was kind of funny because like there was a time I remember there was one game in 2013 where T-Mac, because T-Mac was on the Spurs for his very final season.
Yeah.
We just ring chasing, makes sense. Which I felt so bad for T-Mac because like his one chance to get to the finals and it's the Ray Allen shot. I was like, fuck, bro, that's so sad. Like he wasn't even like he didn't even have minutes.
Championship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was like he was just ring chasing. But like the Spurs are so good that fucking 2013 T-Mac, who was just not really important at all, but not good by any stretch of imagination ever, at all that season. But like he had one 26-point game because the Spurs just like were good enough to like facilitating him just being a very big scoring point guard, which is just the most random thing in the world because it's like that's how good that system was. That like T-Mac could go and rewind the clock for a little bit, and then just fucking cook.
Yeah,
And
that
it was
T-Mac.
great, dude. Vintage T-Mac is
Bro, I remember like the 13.
filthy.
Oh my god, dude. The 13
Filthy.
Oh,
30
yeah.
seconds.
That was against the Spurs too. That was against the Spurs too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was against
Yeah,
the Spurs, yeah.
I remember watching that like live, like on TV, and I was like, "What?" Like it took me a second to really conceive what just
right
happened.
now. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was crazier. Maybe like either that was definitely crazy, but Jimmy Butler almost hitting that 3.
It's the Celtics.
Yeah, because that was
No,
like
he-
that was such a stupid. That was
No,
such
no,
a dumb
but
thing though. Like he has so much
it's
time left.
He had 16 seconds.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah, you want to get a better. You want to guarantee a shot.
Well, no, with the trip to the finals on the line. Think about it.
Exactly. Like I would think you want to make
Move
sure
the
you
ball
have
over.
the best shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like make sure
Yeah.
something. Especially because like you don't need a 3.
We're just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna shoot this. I don't care.
Yeah, because like he also didn't need a 3, right? I think he only needed 2 points.
Well,
Yeah,
it
might be wrong.
actually, I think the logic behind it was that like you had 2 Heat basically on each wing, right? And you had him, and he'd hit that shot before.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Like-
you think, let me go, let me get it. Maybe someone will
Yeah,
get the offensive
yeah.
rebound will be fine. Then Al gets
Yeah.
the offensive rebound. Then
Well, listen, if there's anyone on that team who should be shooting that 3 and doing that in that scenario, it is Jimmy Butler. So like, I'm not saying it was like
Not Tyrone Harrow. You don't think Tyrone Harrow should shoot that?
Tyler Hero's overrated as
strong.
fuck.
Sheen.
I'm sorry.
You think he's overrated? Why
Tyler
you-
Hero is just he's
No,
fine. Like I expect him to become good. Well, like I expect him to become good and like be really good in like 5 years because he is very good.
I'm gonna
he's
draft in
very good.
2018, so he still has 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just really young, and I think that to tell me that he's as good as people say he is, no, he's not.
He's just
He comes off the bench and he scores a bunch. That's Lou Williams.
thing was,
That's
like-
fucking Jamal Crawford. That's like not unsurprising.
Yeah, but that's
you know?
why he wants to like leave because they're not like moving him up from that position. That's what he said, or that's what the
Yeah.
he wants to.
I
be
think
in
that-
position.
Yeah, and that's my thing.
That's
I don't know
fair.
if he's gonna get that role on the Heat.
Really?
Yeah, I just
What
don't
do
know.
you think with the-
No, not anytime soon. Not anytime soon for sure. 'Cause
Okay,
I mean,
let me ask it. Let
we're
me ask
gonna
it
put-
to both of you. What do you think? I'll let Akash go first, and you tell me. What do you think is
Sure.
the best place for Tyler Harrow as a starter?
Honestly, you go first. Actually, you go first.
I think he could go pretty well on a lot of teams. Because he is just a scoring point guard, right? That's like what he is.
You said team.
I think like my take, I think he'd be pretty good on like LA, like the Clippers or something. That'd be like really great for him. Or like even like if
on
you
the Clippers.
I think he would get a good amount of minutes. I think he'd at least average 20 something minutes. I don't know if he'd be a starter, but like I think that
and you'd flourish.
I think that like in terms of where he should go to like be the main dude, I would say like not even the main dude. He couldn't be the main dude. I don't think. I would say like if like there's I could legitimately see him as like as a starter on like Denver or something.
Actually,
I'd like that.
so I actually think that he'd fit really well on a team that sort of needs like that offensive sort of punch. I would say maybe a team like the Sixers. I feel like a team like that.
If he wants to go to a team that's like not good right now, but like with him on there, they'd be much better. I would say like Orlando. I think like if he wants to be starting, and if he wants to like that, inherently him starting would be on a worse team than the Heat, right? That's just objectively how that's gonna work.
Yeah.
And where he's just the best point guard.
Yeah. But my thing is,
well,
I think he can fully be like a starting player on a championship team. It's just like the Heat, the way the Heat are constructed is they don't really have like Jimmy Butler can be that guy, but that team doesn't necessarily have like two superstar players and then role players.
Yeah, it's just a very balanced team.
Everyone's just like pretty good.
Yeah, it's a very balanced team. You got good players around. It's a deep team too. That's another issue for him in terms of that.
Pretty good. So you
said Oladipo has been good for them too now.
Like Oladipo's gonna get that fat contract.
Yeah.
Dude, I think he's gonna get hurt before he does it, bro. He's too injured.
Oladipo's not getting a fat contract. What do you mean?
That motherfucker's made of glass, bro. That guy is bro. He is made of glass.
He's getting a contract somewhere else.
He's gonna get like an Aaron Gordon type contract, I think.
No,
some teams 15 a year.
If he can relive his Indiana days, he could. How do you know that?
Relive his Indiana days was like 1 season and a half.
15 to 20.
Like 2. He got injured in the second season.
When I say fat contract, I'm not talking about a max. I'm talking about a fat contract for a player like him, which is 15 to 20.
He's getting $5 million a year. Let's go.
No, I meant like that 15 to 20 mil.
Big Dennis Scrotum energy.
Oh yeah. Well, to be fair, like if he wasn't injury prone, I think paying him like 28 million would be great. But because he's made of glass, and there's no.
I mean, he doesn't. I don't think he just issue with injuries, does he? It's not extensive.
I mean, in the last 3 years, how many games has he played?
It's been bad in Indiana. It's been not so good in Miami too. He was okay in OKC. He was okay in Orlando. But those were his earlier days.
Yeah, that was before the breakout.
Remember, he was playing off the bench in this last series, this entire playoffs.
And I think he played that role pretty good.
Yeah, so he's not going
to. I mean, like to be fair, he's not starting on the Heat. I don't think so.
Not starting on the Heat.
I don't. Yeah.
Somewhere else, he'll get 50.
I have a friend that says he'd fit well in Denver.
I mean, listen, if you have a player who doesn't actually pass the ball a lot, Denver's the best spot for them because Jokic, your center's your passer, which is like, like Jokic is basically a quarterback. I mean, that's what he is. So
yeah, and I mean also like you move Oladipo to that shooting guard position, right, for Denver
instead of a small forward.
Yeah, he plays small forward.
I think so, right? Does he not?
Forward? No.
Does he not play for the? I might be wrong.
Yeah,
I might just be wrong.
Which team?
He never played small forward. There's
no. See, like the thing is with shooting guards is like you gotta either be so good at shooting the ball or you gotta be like good enough at passing. And if you're good enough at passing, you just become a combo guard anyways. And it's like, you just gotta be.
I mean, yeah.
You basically gotta be like your bottom line to become a really good shooting guard and like stay a starter and like do with that is like DeMar DeRozan or something.
I mean, yeah. I mean, a shooting guard.
It's kind of
really
tough.
The way I see it is a point guard's a facilitator. A shooting guard just scores, right? Like. That's really it. Like Kyrie Irving is a shooting guard. I don't know why he's ever a point guard.
Unless you're like James Harden, then you have to pick on that.
Well, James Harden's the weird guy who can. James Harden could walk up the court as a point guard and then end the possession as a
shooting guard. Yeah, that's what he's a combo.
Like he's the guy. That's the guy who can like. Yeah.
He's a shooting guard in Houston.
He did play point for a season. I remember that.
Well, no. The thing is, like with James Harden specifically, though, he is just good at both. Like he's a very good point guard and he's a very good shooting guard. So what ends up happening with him, like with those Houston team especially, was like he would like there are times where like he'd start at point guard on the possession, but like the possession ends is with him basically being a shooting guard, right? Like he is both one of the very best passers in the league and one of the best scorers in the league, anyways. So for him it's different. For him it's a little different because like he just is the best combination of the two.
Yeah.
Like he's like that's the epitome of the combo guard right there.
His Houston days were definitely.
Oh my god, it's so impressive.
Peak,
So
peak.
impressive. Like that was the first time you'd ever seen a player just like be the system, right? And like it was just actually working. Like you would think like that's not gonna work in the fucking NBA. I mean, like you could tell me like playoff success or whatever, but like I mean, they would have got to the. They definitely were getting to the finals if they didn't have that.
I don't think that sort of
2018.
play is championship caliber, but it's definitely fun to watch, and you can definitely make a deep run.
Well, no, see, I think the word championship. I think the championship caliber word is bullshit because it's not championship caliber until it wins, anyways.
Yeah, it's fact. Actually, that's not true. I don't agree.
Why
I don't
you
agree with
Why
that
don't you
because I don't think. Okay. I think teams can be championship caliber and not win. That just means they have the potential.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Like for example,
like you could
put KD, Kyrie, Harden on a team. That's championship caliber, right? They're not champions. I mean, they are champions individually, but not necessarily.
except for Harden.
Actually,
that's true. Yeah, wait a minute. but like, I don't know. To say that like Harden's playstyle doesn't win a ring though would be, I think it's just wrong. Like he's gotten very, very deep in the playoffs. Multiple. Like first of all,
He's kind
anytime
of
you get past, anytime you're in the second round of the playoffs and above, whatever your fucking result is really good. That's my take. Because listen, in the playoff, there's
swept in the conference finals. How is that really good?
You still won 2 playoff series.
I don't know if that's true. I think you need if you get to the finals.
So then would you consider?
Okay, like I think what about conference finals then? What about conference finals? I think conference finals is
conference finals is very good, but to be considered,
yeah, because that's 2 teams. There's only 2. There's 4 teams in the league.
Okay. Let me ask you, do you think LeBron's 6 final losses are impressive then?
Yeah.
They are because of the teams.
He went to the finals for an entire decade. He was in the finals.
Okay,
only
that's batshit insane.
Only to lure to Western's conference team. Like,
sure.
Okay, but
sure.
Okay.
And like, yeah, it was a historically weak East too. But the fact is, he still did it, and that's like, what the fuck? That is like one of the most impressive. That's some Celtic shit right there from like the 60s.
But the teams he was playing too. Like I'm talking about. Okay, his second era. He was just 4 years. Like that is easily one of the the only dynasty right now, right?
Yeah.
In this current era, it's the only.
Okay, what do you?
Well, can you have? So let me ask you a question. Can you have more than one dynasty in a season in the league at any given time though?
Like I don't know if you can really. That's true. Like I wouldn't say. Well, actually, yeah, because the Spurs did win like a lot of championships over like a 10-year period.
I would say so. I wouldn't even really call what we did a dynasty. I would say that like our floor, like because I think like our floor was just so good that we were always competing, and every now and then over a 10-year span of like, to be fair, like being able to compete for a championship for 10 years is like insane. Yeah, that's like wild. But like I like my take is, for example, like Kobe had, if you want to say that like the entirety like the Spurs like from 2000 like 2003 or say to like 2014 was like a dynasty, which is not. I don't think so, at least.
It's fair to say 1999.
Yeah, like see in that dynasty though, like there's like pauses where Kobe goes off for like 2 dynasties technically, right? But so like
I do think it's possible. Like I think that we often will like.
It's got to be a weird situation. I think like maybe it's like Larry Bird and like Magic in the 80s, where like there are 2 concurrent dynasties existing, like the Pistons halfway through.
It's like 3 times in the finals where like Magic won twice and Larry won once. So that's definitely like agreeable.
Yeah, but
that's I definitely it probably can be, but I think that
it's definitely a dynasty. It's definitely
a dynasty of the planet.
Definitely dynasties.
No, because they won 5 championships over a 15-year period. That's a dynasty, right? And you had the Heat team that went to the finals 4 times, won 2 championships. That's possible.
Definitely dynasty.
Different kinds of dynasties, but
wait, how many times they won? They won 3. 2. No, I meant like over from 2006.
Oh, but that doesn't count because it's not the same team.
Well, then you can say that the Spurs doesn't count because
the Spurs' best player was the same team. Like, okay, the Spurs' best player.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the
Tony Parker and Ginobili later. Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
And but still on the Heat, those 3 championships. I don't know. It depends how you want to define a dynasty, I guess. That's like
I think a dynasty is for whatever given period, like you are the king that everyone wants to dethrone.
I think Warriors definitely pick like
absolutely
shit. Yeah.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in and really hearing our first special guest, Supreet. he had a lot of great insights on basketball, on the Spurs, and it was an amazing time talking to him. And Akash, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, just make sure that you follow our page. We have some cool videos there. Feel free to donate. And thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.